Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Jay Gonzalez. I do appreciate you guys joining me here today. On today's episode, we're going to be covering alpha widows. That's right, folks, alpha widow. So stick around for that right after this. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and get it kicked off. And this is coming from Cedric from Northwest Indiana. And he's asking, can you clarify the term alpha widow for all those men in the back? All right, thank you, Cedric. I do appreciate you submitting the topic today, and hopefully I'm going to do the best I can to answer that question. Well, first off, let's make sure that everybody understands what an alpha widow is. For those of you guys in the back, as Cedric says, that ain't aware what an alpha widow is, she is a woman that has dated an alpha that pretty much to an extent checked every single box that she has. Whether it be looks-wise, whether it be financial, whether it be height-wise, whether it be career-wise, whether it be sex-wise. And it is very difficult when you're dealing with an alpha widow because she lost him. They're no longer together. So now she's with the new guy, and she's expecting the new guy to not just compete, but do better than the alpha did in the past, than her ex. And you know these women because they always give certain signs. They give certain clues, if you will. And if you know what clues to look for, you know what? My suggestion is you avoid them at all costs. Do not let them attempt to string you with their web because sometimes it's almost impossible to get out. So let's go ahead and break down some of the signs, folks, for those of you guys in the back that ain't aware. All right? Is she comparing you to her ex? If there's a constant comparison to her ex, whether he did this, he did that, he treated her better, whatever the case may be, he said, sweeter words, there's always a comparison to the ex. Major red flag. Is she still friends with him? Is she still friends with him? Whether it be on social media, whether it be in person, whether it be phone number-wise. To me, most of the time when they're still friends, there's still a door open. If she didn't block him or whatever the case may be, there's still that door open that she can possibly get back with her ex. So, is she still friends with him? Does she talk about the places he's taken her? Whether it be trips, whether it be restaurants, whether it be, he took me one day, roller skating and it was so romantic, whatever the case may be, does she brag to you on places that she's been to that her ex has taken her to? Okay, that's definitely a red flag and a sign that you're dealing with an alpha widow and you need to run. Okay? Does she brag about what he bought for her? Whether purses, shoes, if perfumes, makeup, it doesn't matter. Hair done. Does she brag about how financially he was able to take care of her? The things he did for her. Okay? Without a doubt, you are dealing with an alpha widow. An alpha widow with definitely some gold diggerish. Is she always never, ever satisfied? In anything you do, she is never satisfied. It's never enough. It's never enough. Regardless, it is never enough when you're dealing with an alpha widow. You have to understand, fellas, she's looking at it as she had to settle with you. She had to go down on her values for you when you're dealing with an alpha widow. This is their mentality. You see, to them, they know, they're pretty much showing their worth by the type of man that they can pull. So they pulled this high caliber man, or at least they think was a high caliber man, and now you that she's looking at ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. You're a peasant to her. So these type of women, they don't value your time. They don't care about wasting your time or anything, drama or nothing, nothing about that. Everything is about her. And she's quick to make that clear to you. Everything is about her. And at times, she'll probably even throw in her ex. You know what? When I was upset, he would always make sure that he would buy me ice cream or do this or do that for me. Again, you are dealing with an alpha widow. Is she always judgmental to you? You know what? You should never do it like this. I remember with my ex, he would only do it that way, and it would work. So why don't you try it that way? Always judgmental. You are 100% dealing with an alpha widow. And for those of you guys that are involved right now, today, whether you're laying next to her, whether you're sitting next to her, whether you're at the movies with her, whatever the case may be, that is dealing with an alpha widow, God bless you, brother, and good luck. If there was any advice I can give you, it would be not to walk, but run if you can get away. But if by chance in your mind you're thinking to yourself, well, you know what? Maybe, just maybe I can possibly make this work. Okay? Just maybe I can make her see me even better than the way she saw him. Whether it be Chad, Tyrone, etc. You have to understand that is going to take quite a bit of work. And that depends on how in her mind, how much she put him on a scale. How high of a value man she perceived him to be. And understand, sometimes it's not always checked all boxes that makes a man imprint on her. He could be the best one that ever she had in bed, sexually. He can be the guy who was the sweetest to her, that always did nice things, nice gestures for her, that she remembers. The type of guy that brought her flowers all the time, imprints on her. Okay? So she can be, it can be numerous things that made him, or that allowed herself to get imprinted by him. So if your intentions are to attempt to make it work, you have to be that new man, all right, that's going to literally do what it takes to leave that imprint on her about you. So whether that's going to take, I don't know, it might take some fancy dinners. It might take some fancy trips. It might take some Gucci purses, perfumes, and shoes and hair dones. If that's something that you are willing to accept and you can pull off, then, hey, you know what? More power to you, brother. But I don't see it going that far, to be honest with you. And God forbid you marry one of these type of women. You marry one of these type of women, you are almost 100% signed you pretty much your life on a piece of paper that she's about to destroy. Once she takes half of your stuff and takes you to the cleaners for pretty much what you got. Alpha widows are heartless until they meet that alpha that's going to tame, that's going to get rid of that thought that she had in her head of her ex, that pedestal that she put that man on. Ain't nobody going to change that unless you can outdo that man there. And to be honest with you, some of these men look at it like these women ain't worth that. So if you ain't worth that, I'm not going to give you a commitment of doing it. So it almost never, ever, ever works. So again, those of you guys that are dealing with one right now, God bless you, brother. Good luck with it. But again, if there's any opportunity that you can some way untangle that web that she has on top of you, and I know a lot of alpha widows, they're hot. They're gorgeous. Don't let the beauty fool you. Keep in mind, they're hot. That's why they were able to get such a high value man that they hold so high on a pedestal, because of their looks. So their options are always going to be open. And being the hypergamic nature, she's always going to try to date up. And the minute you cannot provide one aspect of what her ex was doing, she's going to look for that in someone else. Keep in mind, there was a national study that was done, and women, we're going to talk about that in another episode, are more cheaters than men. So keep that in mind when you commit to an alpha widow. So hopefully, Cedric, I made you proud today with covering the topic. And those of you guys that are watching, please comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Have you had any experience with an alpha widow? What are your thoughts about them? You know, what advice can you give Cedric on it? And those ladies that are watching, hey, let me know your thoughts on it. Am I wrong? Did I miss a step? Let me know your thoughts. And again, remember, until the next one, guys, I'm your host, Jay Gonzalez. And remember, you ain't living life. This life is controversial. Peace out.